Hello students, my name is Alpa Rupala, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology, Computer Department. Welcome to the lecture series of Mobile Computing and Wireless Communication. Unit number 3, subtopic GSM. Topics to be covered in this lecture. First of all, we will learn about the GSM handoff or handover. What is the handover? The basic definition we have already learned. Then after, we will move forward to the GSM power control technique. Handoff process in GSM. So basically we already know that what is the handover or handoff. Whenever we are talking on a phone and we are changing our cell, or else in the same cell if we are changing our channel, then the process of ongoing channel change occurs, and that is known as the handover or handoff. Basically, when this process is required, whenever you are traveling from one cell to another cell, then handoff is being done. And secondly, when there is a very much of heavy load to your current channel at that time, and if some another channel is ideal or having some lesser load, so at that time from heavy loaded channel to lightly loaded channel, the channel change can occur. This is the two requirement when the handover is being done: whenever you are traveling from one cell to another cell, and secondly whenever there is the high traffic load on a single channel and there is the another channel available with the lighter traffic load. So this is the two fundamental when the channel change occurs. There are basically four type of handover. First one, intra-BTS handover. In intra-BTS handover, in one cell only, in the range of frequency, one channel is transferring data to another channel. And this is under the BTS only. So all the handover mechanism is performed by that relevant BTS. Secondly, inter-BTS intra-BSC handover. In this fundamental, one single BSC which is handling two BTS, and the channel change is being occur between these two BTS. Likewise, we are going from this cell number 1 to cell number 2, which is handled by single BSC. So this kind of handover is known as inter-BTS intra-BSC. And the handover mechanism is handled by the common BSC. Same as the third one, inter-BSC handover. A single MSC in which there are two BSC, and handover is being occurred between the BSC relevant BTS. So this kind of fundamental is known as inter-BSC. Look, MSC is common. This MSC is handling this two BSC and the BSC of cell 1. Okay, and this BSC cell 3. The handover is being done between these two BTS channel. And the basic mechanism is being carried out by MSC itself. Fourth one, inter-MSC handover. When two different MSC BTS channel change occur is known as inter-MSC handover, and this mechanism is combinedly handled by MSC of both the BTS and OMC. So this is the basic mechanism of handover. But how this channel change is being occurred, we will discuss this by the example of this third type. Third type is inter-BSC handover. So all the things is being carried out by the common MSC. Now just look of it. So here is the diagram in which Your MS is in a roaming area of 1 BTS. The MSC is handling two different BSC and the channel a change is being occurred between the BTS of relevant BSC. So here it is BSC old, BTS old and BSC new, BTS new. All the data from the BTS channel is being transferred to the new BSC handled BTS. So ultimately, first of all, the MS is sending a periodical measurement report to relevant BTS. So in this report, your BTS need to check that is it the requirement of handover. If there is the requirement of handover, then it will send the calculated message to relevant BSC. Now BSC need to decide that handover is required or not. BTS is sending the request of handover to BSC. Now BSC need to decide that handover is required or not on the basis of different handover parameter check. First of all, they need to check that relevant BTS is having some channel that is free to carry the further data. Secondly, it need to check that this is what kind of handover and who will handle it. So all the fundamental is being calculated at your BSC old. Now BSC has taken the decision that handover is required. So it will send the handover request to your relevant MSC, which is handling both the BSC. Now this handover request is being sent to relevant BSC. Now BSC will check further that the resource is available to your relevant BTS or not. If the resource is available, then it will send the channel activation request. Now BTS will send the channel activation acknowledgement if there is the available channel possible. In a positive acknowledgement, if there is no channel available, then negative acknowledgement. Suppose the BTS is having the positive acknowledgement and sending it to the BSC. Now BSC will acknowledge the MSC. Now MSC will send the handover command to relevant BSC and BTS and to directly MS. Now handover command is there. Now here look, this is very important part, link establishment. This link establishment can be done by two ways, by the hard handoff or soft handoff. The first technique is hard handoff. In hard handoff, basically as soon as the handover command reaches to your MS, then after MS will send all the data to relevant channel. Before letting or before getting any acknowledgement, it will release the current channel. Okay, so this is known as the hard handoff, where when there is no positive acknowledgement reaches to your MS and it will wait for the further instruction. But if we talk about the second type of handoff, that is soft handoff, in soft handoff, basically MS will wait until the clear command is not being received. So ultimately, the BTS is sending the link, all the data of your MS is being sent to your new channel. Then after, as soon as the new channel receive all the data successfully, it will send the handover complete command to BSC. That will be sent to your MSC and that will be sended clear command. Now the MSC will send the clear command to old BSC send to old BTS and that will be sent to again your MSC. Now your BTS will leave the channel. So second type of handover is what? Soft handover or soft handoff. And your GSM is using soft handoff. Why we are using soft handoff? Because the call drop is lesser in soft handoff. So this was all about the GSM handoff or handover. GSM power control techniques. Now basically what is power control technique? We have already learned about antenna, that antenna is transceiver which transmit and receive electromagnetic waves, but it converts this electromagnetic waves from the high frequency current. So ultimately what we are providing to your antenna is a high frequency current. So this current should, if this current is very much of higher, then your antenna can collapse. So this current should be in an average range that your antenna is works very effectively and efficiently. So for this particular fundamental, we are using power control techniques. So basically we already know that in your cell, in your cell, if you are having any user that is the at the corner of your cell diameter, then you have to produce a higher power to reaches there, okay, to reach at that place. We have already seen this fundamental at the cellular network topic. If the user is at the corner of your geographical area, very far from your tower, then the power requirement is very high to send your signal at that place. So, what is the basic requirement of power and how we can control it? For that purpose, we are having 5 power control technique. The first one is fixed power allocation scheme, in which regardless to any distance or traffic, the power consumption and transmission parameter is being fixed priorly. Like an example, suppose my power requirement is 5 volts. So the antenna is given 5 volts continuously regardless of any another fundamental consideration. So this is known as the fixed power allocation scheme. Second one is adaptive power allocation scheme. In this, basically, when you are requiring what amount of power, that power is being given to your antenna. Okay, according to requirement, you are giving the power. But what is the disadvantage? Obviously, in fixed power allocation technique, if the receiver is very far than your antenna, then you cannot reach to that. But if we talk about the adaptive power allocation, then whenever we require higher amount of power, then we will give higher amount of power. When we require lesser amount of power, then we will give lesser amount of power. But this dynamic change is very time consuming and very ineffective. So this is also not the proper power control technique. Then the third one is canonical power control technique. In this technique, basically a kind of algorithm which are priorly set up are functioned. Like synchronous algorithm is there, asynchronous power control algorithm is there, and that algorithm is basically totally depend on your user requirement. Whatso your user is required, according to it the prior definition is being given and the algorithm is being set up, and then after we are providing antenna the power according to that algorithm only. Okay, so this is somewhat looking like a proper technique, but also it is not, because whenever we have predefined or pre-calculated something another fundamental, but at the run time anything can be happen, any interference can be there, any attenuation can be there. So this is very fluctuated prior decision and the runtime decision. Next technique is stochastic power control technique. It is a basically combination of fixed and adaptive power control technique. Likewise, for few distance or for few amount of time, we already given that this is the fixed allocation or this is the fixed feed. Okay, but after the requirement, suppose some user is requiring more amount of power, then we will give according to that power to particular user only. So this is the kind of better technique, stochastic power control technique. Next one is binary power control technique. In this technique, we are deciding that when we are transmitting the signal and when we are not. According to it, we are feeding the power and we are cutting down it. So these all are the techniques for power control mechanism, and we can use this technique, any one of this technique according to our requirement. So summary, we have learned about the handover and power control techniques. Thank you. We will meet in our next lecture.